You're watching the Fox 5 Morning News at 7.
Hey, good morning. It is 7:43 on this Wednesday. Taking a live look from the STCCU.com camera. Yes, it's another hot day out there, I'm afraid. Drink plenty of water. Try to stay cool, will you? A lot of Americans rely on credit cards now more than ever. Chase Wilsey, Vice President of Wilsey Asset Management, joining us now to explain how to get the most of those cards. Chase, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, I was always told, get a credit card, establish your credit, but be careful of credit cards.
A lot of people have that fear with credit cards, but there's just really so many great benefits to those credit cards when it comes to utilizing them properly.
Okay, what are those benefits? Because I know from my wife taught me a long time ago. She said, just try to pay off every month if you can and get the cards that give you all this stuff. So I think the plane tickets are good and all those little benefits. You smile. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I mean, I see four big benefits when it comes to credit cards.
Okay.
Number one, it builds your credit. This is so important. A lot of people don't realize how important building your credit is.
Yeah.
I mean, think about if you take an auto loan, you take a mortgage. Well, if you have good credit, you get lower interest rates.
Right.
So that really helps you in the long run. Number two, you mentioned it already. Well, hey, those rewards are quite nice. Number three, well, if you look at a lot of the sign-up bonuses, there's some great bonuses out there. I know the Discover It Cashback card will match all of your cash back in the first year. I mean, that's just fantastic. But I always tell people, be careful of those upfront bonuses, because if you don't like the card, not going to use it, might not be worth it. And the last benefit I see with these credit cards, there's some that have 0% intro APRs. This means you're going to pay 0% interest even if you rack up a large statement balance, let's say in the first 18 months. Big caveat here, make sure you can pay off that credit card in 18 months so you don't accrue that interest.
It's free money, but that 18 months is going to catch up with you eventually. And also, what I learned is, if you get the rewards and they're all like plain travel, if you're not a traveler, that's not going to do you any good.
Well, absolutely. And I always tell people, I actually like the cash back rewards the best.
Right.
I mean, you mentioned the air travel rewards. I mean, it makes sense for some people, but especially now with this pandemic, how often are people traveling? And they did convert some things to it, but if you actually look at the breakdown of, the cash back versus what you're getting for each mile, oftentimes the flexibility of just getting that cash back card outweighs, the point credit cards and the airline miles for most people.
Okay, this is the good part of this. You're going to give us a couple of your favorite cards, and we can maybe look into that and see if we can get these. First up, you got the Citi Double Cash. Talk to me.
Yeah, and it is funny you talk about my credit cards. I actually have about 7 to 8. People think I'm crazy, but I stay on top of it. You got to make sure you utilize these credit cards. But the Citi Double Cash, that is my favorite credit card. I think it is a staple for everyone because you get 2% cash back. The way they incorporate that is you get 1% when you buy something, and then 1% when you pay it off.
Oh, wow.
I mean, gosh, you think about it, $100 you spend, well, hey, you get $2 back. It's like a 2% sale. That's pretty fantastic when you think about things in the long run.
Yeah, that adds up, for sure.
Exactly.
Next one, Amazon Rewards Visa.
This one, we know a lot of people like to shop on Amazon. So if you're an avid Amazon shopper, this is a must-have credit card. There's no annual fee for this credit card. You get 3% cash back on anything you buy at Amazon or at Whole Foods. Plus, if you're a Prime member, I know there's plenty of people that are Prime members out there, it's 5%. I mean, again, that's a 5% sale. That's just awesome.
Okay, so Chrissy just yelled in the background, the interest rate on that is really high. Really high.
Yeah, it is really high, and I always tell people with the interest rate, you have to be very, very careful. You mentioned always paying off that statement balance at the end of the year. Very important you do that, or excuse me, the end of the month.
Right.
Because if you don't pay it off, that's when that interest rate kicks in. But if you pay it off, it's not really an issue.
There you go. And Costco Anywhere Visa, you're hitting all the spots where we all shop. It's like every day for everybody here.
I was trying to do that. I was trying to think, where do most people shop? And Costco is quite popular right now. You do have to be a Costco member to apply for this credit card. But this one is also great for other rewards. You get 4% cash back on gas, which, a lot of people drive. So gas is quite prevalent in most people's budgets. You get 3% cash back on restaurants and travel. So this is a fantastic credit card, plus 2% cash back at Costco. I really like all three of these credit cards, and I think the best thing is there's no annual fees for any of these credit cards as well.
I don't think you've ever done a segment with us where everybody's chiming in with questions and opinions. Now what about a credit card that you can recommend for the military? Is there something for the military?
You know, that's a curveball. I'm sure there is a credit card for the military, but I just like these credit cards for the average person, and military people can still utilize these credit cards as well.
What about the folks out there who are saying, yeah, these cards are great, but what if I have poor credit?
You know, so important to actually, again, build that credit. So a way to have this happen and get rewards is looking into a secured credit card. And what a secured credit card does, it allows people that have poor credit scores to use collateral. So maybe a security deposit of $1,000, now they can get a secured credit card and use it like a credit card to build credit. The one I like is the Discover It secured card. They can require that collateral, but you get 2% cash back on restaurants and gas, and then 1% cash back on everything else. But the big thing I like about this credit card is after 8 months, you're automatically entered for review to see if you're ready for a normal credit card. So this is a fantastic way for people that don't have great credit to actually expand their credit, improve that credit, and really build it over time.
We're having way too much fun talking about credit cards. I'm a little scared right now. My wife said the Chase Sapphire card has a very high annual fee, but if you use it properly, it pays for itself and then some.
You know, the annual fees are very important to look at, because if you're looking at saying, well, what is the extra benefit from switching from a credit card with no annual fee to one with annual fees? Well, now let's say the benefit is $50, but the annual fee is $75.
Right.
Well, you'd be better off getting the credit card with no annual fee. So you really got to break down the different benefits, how you're spending your money. Budgeting is very important in determining what type of credit card is best for you.
Oh, man. Look at all this. This is fun. I feel like I'm in college, freshman, walking around trying to sign up for all these cards at the same time. No, no, no. Chase.
Don't do that. You got to make sure you have a good plan. And again, the big thing is, I always tell people, treat it like a debit card.
Right.
If you're not going to spend money if you had on your debit card, don't spend on your credit card. It's the same rules that apply here. Don't spend money you don't have, because that's where you get into problems. Chris, you talked about the high interest rates. Don't allow yourself to dig yourself in that hole with high interest rates.
Say that again and say it loud. Don't spend money you don't have on your. It's hard for some people to do. I had to throw in the Chase Sapphire because, you know, Chase. It's like Chase.
Hey,
come on now.
You know, Chase is a great bank. I bank there as well.
Of course you do. You have to, kind of. Like if you name your kid Bank of America or B of A or something like that. Chase, always a pleasure. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You got it.